the Grammys happened on Sunday of this past week. I was boots on the ground. I was in LA. I was there. I wore my dress and
Sabrina, who are you wearing?
that was
Chapel.
JJ from I Quit My Band. I Quit My Band. Me.
Are you Roth or Hagar?
Asking Sabrina Carpenter.
Asking Sabrina Carpenter, are you Roth or Hagar?
Are you more of a Brian Johnson guy?
And Sabrina Carpenter's just like, I'm more. What's the guy's name?
Gary Sharone.
I'm Gary Sharone. All my Sharone girlies, where you at? Chappell's like, Sharone. They all,
all
of them,
they've all come
unanimous.
through the looking glass. The Sharone was actually the best
Unanimously,
band.
Gary Sharone, yeah.
That's really funny.
It's JJ from
I Quit My Band. Me. And asking that.
Yeah, and they know exactly who you are. They all answer Gary.
like,
I
Sharone.
saw the Jordy
fuck.
Grebe clip. I love the show.
You guys are so funny. I love Jordy.
I love how the one guy mispronounced my name and called me Chappelle Roan.
Even though he knows it's not Chappelle Roan.
Yeah. Anywho, I watched all of the Grammys. I do every year. I don't know why, but I just do. My girlfriend watched with me, and she was like, if you weren't in my life, I wouldn't be watching this. And I think that you guys probably would agree that you did either of you watch it?
I didn't.
No. No, at a very
Watch it.
young age, I realized like I always grew up watching the Oscars, and the Oscars get it wrong almost
Yeah,
every year,
yeah.
but they still hold some weight within the culture and like taste making
It
when it
still
comes to
matters.
Film.
Well,
Still
and then
matters,
the Will
yeah.
Smith, Chris
yeah.
Rock
Yeah, that
situation
was-
brought him back.
The best
dude.
moment of TV history.
Yeah, now
ever.
I have to watch the
Yeah.
Oscars.
Yeah.
Because Will Smith might hurt someone.
Yeah.
might beat someone up.
But at a very early age, I realized that the Grammys is meaningless.
Yeah.
Like the decisions make no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any award show where you can walk out with like an armful, like
Yeah.
like a bushel of apples.
Yeah.
Like how much could these mean?
Yeah. Beyonce won Best Country Album. And that was
I thought she won Best Album.
Both. She
She
won
won
both.
both? Okay.
both, but she was nominated in the country category along with Post Malone. And God, dude.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, that happened, and I was like, we are off the deep end. After the chairman or whatever, because The Weeknd came after them a few years ago and was like, there's not enough diversity, there's not enough whatever. So he basically was like, yep, we cleaned house, we have a whole new board of people, and they still make shitty decisions.
Yeah, it's all still the same.
Yeah, it's all new people,
Yeah.
a lot of diversity, a lot of whatever. That's awesome, but they still just gave Beyonce the fucking strap.
That came out in 2024, right? That was a 2024 record?
Yeah.
The records that they nominate and give awards to are very generous, because Chappelle Roan's record came out in 23.
No, that was before that.
Before
it came
that
out in
even.
2022. Pink Pony Club came out 3 or 4 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's very much yesterday's news. She's
Yeah.
put out a newer single since, but she rose to popularity recently.
What did she win for?
She Best New Artist.
Okay,
I
that kind of
believe.
makes sense. If it was Best Album, that wouldn't make sense.
No, but
Do they even base it on an album at that point? They're
I
just
don't
like,
know.
you're popping.
You're
Yeah.
doing great.
You get a Grammy.
Yeah.
seriously, but I think she was. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was nominated for Album of the Year, the Midwest Princess.
That doesn't
album.
make any fucking
It doesn't
sense.
make any fucking sense. There's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense. But the few highlights, if you haven't seen it yet, look up Doechie's performance, because it was so sick.
Doechii is... I didn't know about Doechii until that Tyler, the Creator album, where
Same.
she featured on it. But my wife showed me the record, and it's really...
It's
it?
Yeah.
We really missed out not
We did.
reviewing that one.
It's good.
I listened to it all today, actually.
It's
and
fun as hell.
she's very skilled,
Yeah.
and I'm not a bars guy, but something about her bars just really do it for me.
She spits. dude.
She does. She puts it out there,
Yeah.
and her performance, both choreography wise and whatever, was really impressive.
Oh, yeah. I've heard it's really good. She was on that Balloon song, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, the one that they did get right was Best Rock Album, which
What did
was
they?
Hackney Diamonds by the Rolling Stones.
Hell yeah.
Can you imagine?
Of course, it was the best. It was the best.
Yeah.
It was like Jack White's album was up for it.
Really?
Fontaine's DC was
Yeah.
up. Idols, which I wasn't a big fan of that record, but
Yeah.
still would have made more sense than
They
giving
gave it to Hackney Diamonds.
Hackney
Yeah.
Diamonds an
Over
album
the
that-
Jack White record.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
That seems
insane.
like if
a
you're gonna
stretch.
give it to someone who's both like an established
Yeah.
brand and wrote a great album last year. I mean, Jack White was right
that
there.
kind of
Yeah.
makes more sense.
No one's listened to Hackney Diamonds.
Did we listen to that
they weren't
one
Yeah, the one
Hackney
song.
Diamonds song? Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and they weren't even there. Like the guy that
Yeah.
accepted the award was the producer of the record, which also produced the Pearl Jam record that was also nominated. And he was like, "Yeah, I just talked to Mick yesterday. They were so excited."
They're all what time? It's about 4 p.m. They're all dead asleep in bed.
Yeah,
Went to
they're-
dinner around 3, bedtime for the boys.
They got the early bird special,
Very special at Perkins. They're all big fans.
got the senior discount,
Yeah.
and now 4:30 they're asleep.
They're asleep.
So when they wake up tomorrow at 4:30 a.m., I'll let them know
Yeah.
that they won, and they will not care at all.
Just for Mick Jagger to be like, oh, cool. Like, does not even fucking know what it is anymore.
And the producer at the end of the speech also gave a shout out to Pearl Jam. He was just like, "And Pearl Jam, you rule." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I think the Beatles won Best
Yeah.
Rock Song or Best Rock Record.
They
Let
did.
it die.
It's so ridiculous.
You had to fucking bring them back to life to make the song.
Yeah.
Just to be like, it was probably the Grammys themselves who made that song.
Yeah, they developed the AI.
The AI to make that song. Like, oh well, we have the best song. Actually, it's the Beatles.
Because we certainly can't give an award to anybody under the age of 75.
Yeah, dude.
That's just
It's the same standards as the presidency, pretty much, with
Pretty
the rock
much.
category.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
be over the age of 70 to win any
And
awards.
white.
And white, yeah.
But yeah, either way, most of the performances are pretty decent. The like emerging or best new artist category was like stacked, but they put Krungbin in it, and Krungbin's been around for like so
around
long.
for a long
Yeah, but I know you were jazzed.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean,
it
don't
was-
lie.
It was cool to see them at the Grammys, but
Yeah,
like
exactly.
also they're like the equally the most boring and sick band at the same time.
People are
They're-
like, isn't this the band at the cocktail party
Yeah.
that we were just?
This is our cocktail party. But I had no idea you guys were up for a Grammy. Oh my god.
There's this dude
It's
though
amazing.
that I didn't know existed, but I'd heard his song before. I don't know his name, but he wore this like blue jumpsuit. He does the please say, and
Oh,
he's
that guy. Is
yeah.
his name Benson Boone?
Yes,
Is that
that's
it?
yeah.
Everyone has a name like that.
Benson
now.
Boone.
Benson Boone.
And he performed that song. He was like jumping off of shit and whatever. He had a moose knuckle the whole time, which was really
yeah.
sick. But like I saw a really funny tweet that was like, this guy is the Greta Van Fleet of Imagine Dragons.
Oh
Wow.
man, that's
Which
rough.
is really
That's
rough.
horrendous.
So there's saying that he's ripping off Imagine Dragon. Yeah. I mean, I could just I only know the one song, but
I mean, he
yeah.
doesn't have another song.
Is it the beautiful? Okay, yeah. Yeah. It's a little
Yeah.
Imagine Dragon.
Yeah, it is. But either way, I think I was thoroughly entertained. I think it's funny the like celebrities that they show that aren't there for any reason at all. And then they pair them up with like another random person. So like I guess Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead was there to honor their bass player that passed away, but like Grateful Dead wasn't winning anything. And then the Grammys just posts a picture of him and Taylor Swift, like two worlds that have nothing to do with each other. It's like kind of a shit show, but I more or less watch for the Will Smith effect to
Yeah.
see if anyone
Yeah.
fucks up royally, and no one really did.
And instead, his son just showed up with a giant
With a
castle, on his head.
on his head. Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff I'm missing, but
So that's who Will Smith should have slapped.
Yeah, his son. Yeah.
Get that
castle off your fucking head. He needs to restore some order over there.
It makes no sense
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Get that castle off your head.
Yeah, Castle
I'm about
Face
to
Records.
drop a castle on your head.
Is that the name of his record label?
no,
No, that's Castle Face record. That's John Dwyer from the OCs.
Oh, okay.
But
That was
they
his-
they like make new logos all the time, and like it's always like a face with like attached to a castle. I was like, this is Here's your new logo. It's Jaden Smith.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I saw that post and I was like,
Yeah.
is that what he was? So he just showed up with a
He
giant
just showed up with a
castle
castle on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for art.
Yeah,
I'm
for
guessing.
art. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
gonna
of people
be
make art with canvas. I do it with my head.
yeah, castles on my head. Yeah. That's what Will Smith's new song is gonna be, dude. I'm gonna drop a castle on your head. You know?
He was there. Will Smith was there. He participated in the tribute to Quincy Jones because I guess he was really tight with Quincy Jones.
He wrote the songs I made about fighting spiders
Fighting
and
spi-
other
yeah.
large
Dude.
alien bugs.
Me and my brother were talking about Wild Wild West this past weekend.
Jim West.
Jim West, Desperado. I mean,
Roughneck. You don't want nada.
Don't want nada. The villain in that movie, Dr. Loveless.
Yeah.
The guy with no legs and he has a spider
Giant
machine.
spider, yeah.
Fucking insane. How did they come up with that? Genius.
There's like this whole story behind it that Kevin Smith was asked to write like a Superman movie for this guy named John Peters.
Oh wait, I think I knew about this.
And
yeah.
then like for some reason John Peters was so obsessed with having
the
a giant spider in the movie, and then like the movie falls through, and then he goes to see Wild Wild West like 2 years later. Giant spider in the movie. This dude didn't care what the movie was. There was gonna be a giant spider.
The two highlights for me easily were Doechii absolutely destroying, and a part of that Quincy Jones tribute. Janelle Monáe like did a small little tidbit of "Rock with You" by Michael Jackson, and like absolutely destroyed. So it was
Herbie
good.
was there too, right?
Who?
Herbie Hancock.
Yes, yeah.
I
he was a
forgot
part
that
of
he was alive still.
Me too. He performed with fucking Stevie Wonder, and then like it turned into a bigger thing. It with Cynthia Erivo, who sang in the Wicked movie.
Yeah.
Her voice is incredible, and then they transition it over to like this country sing. I think her name's Lainey Wilson or something like that. Like easily not as cool, and it just like here we go, but whatever. So it was. Grammys, I've seen it be way worse. I'll put it that way. They were really heavy-handed with the fire donation thing, which, understandable. It was based in L.A., so... but either way, the Grammys are the Grammys, and nothing really shitty or awful happened besides that Lady Gaga song that they dropped in the middle of the commercials.
Couple things I saw. I didn't watch it, but couple things that I saw and liked. Kendrick winning record of the year for a diss track on Drake,
and
which is
song of the year,
which is hilarious. And everyone in the whole crowd screaming "Minor" whenever that part in the song they played this song, and everyone's like, "Minor." Yes, we all know about it.
It's like if you're Drake, how do you ever show your face again?
A guy has never been dunked on harder. And
he's done forever.
Kendrick does the Super Bowl halftime show this weekend, and for show.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna get dunked on.
He's gonna
again.
There might be just a big painting of his face
with pervert,
with something like sex offender, like
69 God, dude.
Yeah. So that was fun. I saw a little bit of the Charlie XCX performance, and I don't know. I like Charlie, dude. I think she's fun. I like Charlie's music.
I don't think she
actually
had
the Dare on stage.
What did she? She did Von Dutch.
She did Guess, which was a song she did with Billie Eilish, but she, Billie Eilish didn't perform with her, but the Dare was on stage, and they had a cameo with him making out with a girl, and then he turns around, and he's like, "What?"
That's his brand.
I saw another, Chappell. I just got to shout out Chappell. We were talking about before. I love Chappell and how she's a PR agent's nightmare.
Yeah, no media training at all.
Every time she gets on stage, someone is hiding their face, just like, oh my god.
She went up with her diary.
Yeah, just
being
she was wearing a dunce cap looking thing that fell off.
Yeah,
I think she dropped her Grammy at one point.
Yeah, she did.
The industry is completely fucked. They cut me and I had no health insurance. And then there's a bunch of people who are billionaires. And the audience yes,
of
course, I know exactly what you mean.
She's like, I still haven't made any money for my record.
Yes, I built an empire from the bones of people like you.
How could you not fucking love that, dude?
Yeah.
She rules.
She does rule.
I feel like it's fucking 2002 again, where people actually said shit like that on stage, and then just after years and years, it's like, we will fucking cut you if you say anything like that. And
yeah, everybody's too afraid to make anybody upset because
Yeah.
like, you know, you might fall far enough to where your next album is going to be like a co-promotion with Pringles. And if you've ever said anything bad about Pringles, you're done.
And I mean, who knows? That might happen to her.
Yeah.
But like
Bugles is right there.
Bugles is there.
I think she's got the power to, you know, stick with it. I mean,
I think she does too. I think she's
Yeah.
got enough like people behind her to
Yeah.
like listen to whatever record she's got. But you
and
just gotta love
the
Chapel.
entire gay community behind her. Too.
Yeah,
It's
she's
like,
got
you
fucking.
know.
I mean, I'm a fan, dude.
Yeah.
Her music's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I think she's really kind of scooped Lady Gaga's heat.
Yeah. Oh,
because
completely.
like watching the Abracadabra video, you're like, Chapel does it better.
Chapel's better, dude.
Because like she
Yeah.
has like a theater kid quality to
Yeah.
her, Chappelle Roan, but
Yeah.
like the theater kid quality in that Lady Gaga song is just like, oh my.
I did not
Yeah.
like. I like the beginning part, like the real techno part, but then it just goes into being a very
Wannabe bad romance.
Bad romance. Song,
Yeah. Well, and like Chappelle Roan is like her voice is almost just as good as Gaga's too. So
Yeah,
it's like there's
yeah.
not really like
Yeah,
you're
Gaga
right.
fell off.
Yeah, bad.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, just a clip I saw on TikTok, which was so funny. It was two like young woman like interviewers, like reporters on the red carpet, whatever, and they're talking to Babyface, who's like I guess kind of like an old school like R&B singer.
Oh yeah.
And they're talking to him, and just while he's like answering a question, like they ask him a question and he's answering it, and then just in the middle of it, the one girl just goes, Chapel! And he just like he sees it happening, like he sees the girl see Chappell Roan and is like, do you want to? And she's like, Chapel, and they just leave. They just leave
God.
him. And Chappell Roan just I think he walks away, and then Chappell Roan comes and just takes his place.
Yikes.
So funny.
So
like,
bad.
The amount of disrespect just in that moment is like, holy hell, dude.
I mean, that's that industry in a nutshell.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like
Pretty
if it was
much.
like 1996, like
Yeah.
Babyface is the hot new
Yeah.
thing. Like 30 years later, it's just like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
what about your legacy? And he was probably talking about like Quincy Jones. and how
probably
much-
was.
It's like, man, Quincy Jones,
Shut
what a legend. Okay, I'll leave now.
Peace.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, he handled it with about as much grace as you can in that moment. Just I mean, I'm not fucking.
I also have a question I'd like to ask Chow. He's
Yeah.
like coming over
He's
with,
like,
just like
"Oh."
hanging right over their shoulders.
Chapel.
That synth sound you got on Hot to Go.
Kanye showed
That
up
would
with
be
his
funny.
wife
Oh, that's
uninvited,
right.
and
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
It seemed like I saw the whole video. It seemed some sort of orchestrated thing where he stood there like a bodyguard. And then
Yeah.
she took off this big fur, and she was naked
naked.
as fuck.
She was basically wearing like saran wrap.
Yeah, it was, and then they got escorted out.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, I saw
awesome.
that picture. I was like, what the? I was like, I thought they were like banned from all this shit. And then they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they were. They
They
were
were.
asked to leave.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Anyways, but that was the Grammys. I was pleased with it. I didn't have anything else to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Hackney Diamonds walked
That's-
away with
that's
it.
what I'm
How do
saying. I
you-
mean, I
how
think
do you
that's
go-
all-
The funny part is like the day of the Grammys, like a couple hours before you start seeing like headlines that people start winning because they announce a bunch before the show. That was one of them, so I didn't even bother watching.
Well, that's the thing is like
It's-
they don't even
it's
put
an
the Rock
afterthought.
one on TV.
No,
it's like
it was
it's
like-
not on TV, and you gave it to an 80-year-old man.
Give it to-
Rock and roll is here to stay, baby.
So St. Vincent did win 3 Grammys, which
That's
is
cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to say something about that. I think she shouted out her engineer for All Born Screaming, who is a Chad. I think.
No fucking way.
She's a Chad of the show. So shout out Kian Reardon.
Oh,
is his
yeah.
name.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
he follows us on Insta, and I think he's a sub. So
That's so cool.
We have 1 degree of separation.
You know
from
who
the
listens to the show?
Grammys.
Grammy winners. Okay?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
That's so cool.
that was awesome. So she gave him like a direct shout out on
Oh,
stage.
that's awesome.
It's a great record. So
It is.
shout
You
out.
guys better get your tickets to see her in Pittsburgh in April. 'cause
Oh,
it's
yeah?
gonna be
Oh
awesome.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I will.
Anyways.
I've never seen her live.
So good.
That's the Grammys. Hackney Diamonds is
Forever.
forever king. Yeah, forever.